What's up, guys? Welcome back to Doc's Pop Reviews. Glad to have you here. We're talking about Justified. The book is called City Primeval High Noon in Detroit. But as you can see, according to IMDb, it's still an untitled Elmore Leonard adaptation. We don't know what the TV series is going to be called. We see here Timothy Olyphant has been cast, but that's it. And if you notice, it also says Timothy Olyphant is rumored. Now, I cannot see them making a Justified limited series and not cast Timothy Olyphant as Raylan Givens. It just wouldn't make sense, okay? Now, I know the book has a different detective named Raymond Cruz, but I doubt a lot of fans are going to tune in to a new Justified series or limited series and not have Raylan Givens. It just wouldn't make any sense. They can cast somebody as Raymond Cruz and have him come along and help Raylan Givens, but to not have Raylan Givens at all just wouldn't make sense. The real reason I'm making this video is I want to talk about who I would cast as Clement Mansell. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's who the bad guy is, the villain is, in the book. Now, this is what it talks about on the back of the book. Clement Mansell knows how easy it is to get away with murder. The cool killer is already back on the Detroit scene, thanks to some nifty courtroom moves by his lawyer, and he's feeling invincible enough to execute a crooked judge on a whim. Lieutenant Raymond Cruz, which again will be Raylan Givens, thinks the Oklahoma wild man crossed the line long before this latest outrage, and he's determined to see that the hayseed psycho meets an end he deserves with a gun pointed at him. But that means a good cop having to play somewhat fast and loose with the rules in order to maneuver Mansell into a wild Midwest showdown that he can't walk away from. So I started thinking, who would I cast as this Oklahoma wild man? But first, I needed to know, how does the book describe the Oklahoma wild man? So I asked a friend of mine that actually did read the book, and he gave me the description. The description is as follows. He's in his late 30s, early 40s. White guy, pretty racist. He ran with a gang. He's not very well spoken. He's very confident in his rights and what can be used against him and how investigations work. He's also very violent and very ruthless. He's also described as having reddish hair and light sunburned skin with some bird tattoos on his forearm. Now, I started thinking about actors in their 30s and 40s, but I decided not to think that way. I decided to think a different way of which actor could give Timothy Olyphant or on screen Raylan Givens a run for their money, because it has to be somebody we believe could actually take Raylan Givens out. I think Justified in its 6-season run gave us some really good villains, really good nemesis to Raylan Givens, to the point where it just kept building and building and building, all the way up to Sam Elliott, which is a really good casting choice, but you can't go backwards from that. So I was like, what actor in their 30s could give Raylan Givens a run for their money? And we already kind of seen the younger versus the older with Boone, and Boone lost. So do we really want to see that again? I think they should go away from the book a little bit, still keep that Oklahoma wild man, but cast somebody older, and again, that is more of a presence on screen. So this is who I would cast. My first choice would be Kurt Russell. I think Kurt Russell would be awesome as an Oklahoma wild man, a ruthless killer. We have seen him as a villain before. We've also seen him as someone that's ruthless as John the Hangman Ruth. It's literally in his name. And so I think that he would bring an awesome presence. He would almost be a bad guy that is charming, I think, because Kurt Russell just has such an amazing on-screen presence. So that would be my first choice. Next would be Willem Dafoe, which he turned in an incredible performance as Green Goblin. And it was really scary, the way he could change from sympathetic to a villain very quickly. I think Willem Dafoe could have that Oklahoma wild man, because I think that's what we're looking for. We're looking for somebody that can play a villain and be wild and really scare the audience and almost scare Raylan Givens, because we've never really seen fear in Raylan Givens' eyes. Next wild man, we've seen him play a villain before, although short, Nicolas Cage. He has that ability to be a wild man. He's been in a movie with Timothy Olyphant before, but this would be kind of cool. Next up, Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson played in a movie with Walton Goggins, who played Boyd. What better way to bring it full circle and have him play the Oklahoma Wild Man? And we've seen him be good guys and bad guys, and he has that ability to be more eccentric and that wild man. And then last but not least, my fifth choice would be Josh Brolin. I think Josh Brolin also has a very demanding on-screen presence. All of these guys do. All of these guys, any of these guys would be awesome to go one-on-one in a Wild West showdown against Raylan Givens. And so I don't know if any of these choices are even on the table. What do you guys think? Do you think they should go this route and make them older than Raylan Givens, but have that powerful on-screen presence? Or would you, because Raylan Givens is going to be older here. I mean, Timothy Olyphant has gotten older. So would you rather see him go against a younger Oklahoma Wild Man? And if so, who would you cast? Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear them. Have a great day, guys. And anything Justified coming out, I'll keep you posted.